Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Small Talk. I'm your host, Sadia Abdulaziz Mohammad, and today I have with me Basirah Adejoke Musa. And later on, we'll have another guest because we're having two sessions today. So for the first session, Basirah is going to share with us about cultural diversity. Basirah, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us a bit about your background, where you're from, the places you've lived, and the different cultures you've interacted with?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Basirah Adejoke Musa, once again. So I'm from Ogun State. I usually say I'm from Ogun State because that is where I call home. But naturally, my parents are both Ebira from Kogi State.
Okay.
So I've lived in Ogun State, I was born there and I've lived there all my life until school when I came to Kano. Then my mother's parents are actually in Osun State. So I've also lived a bit in Osun State. And then sometimes I actually stay in Lagos, but still like Ogun State. So, yeah.
So Ogun is home or Ebira is home? Which place it feels more home?
Ogun is home because that's where my parents,
that's
where
you live.
everybody is, yes.
And now you study in Kano,
Yes.
BUK.
Yes.
So how was it like coming up north?
Okay, it was actually very challenging at first because, the cultural difference is there and here it's a lot.
Okay.
So when I just got here, I actually had a hard time adjusting, like with the dressing, different cultures. Like back home, you will hardly see anyone wearing a tampa on a Monday. But here it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And then most of the dresses that I came with, it was serious dresses. So I had to leave some of my clothes and try to just manage it what I have for the time being. And then later on, I got to change my wardrobe a bit, so just to fit in.
Adjust.
Adjust to. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the most surprising thing you learned about the Hausha culture?
Okay. I would say when I came here, I actually discovered that mostly I don't know if it's central to all Hausa culture, but then when people are getting married, the lady usually gets the things for the house, furniture,
she does.
Stuff like that. That's actually very surprising because back home, both Ebira and both Kogi and Ogun State, it's the guy that does most of the things. The only thing the lady is concerned about is her kitchen stuff. So
her kitchen.
That was surprising.
Okay. Have you ever been to weddings? Or
I've only been once.
Okay.
Yes, and the wedding I went to was actually kind of mixed also because the lady was Yoruba and the guy was Hausa.
Okay.
So it's a mix of cultures.
That's nice. That's nice.
Thank you.
So how about the food? How did you find the food here?
The food is actually, some of them are nice, but
some are bad. Okay.
One thing about Hausa food is that they can fry everything, everything. For example, there was one time I went to Janguza Market. So I was going to get some things, and then I actually saw someone selling boiled egg. Then they dipped it in raw egg and then fried it again. I was like, okay.
Egg fried in egg.
Egg fried in egg. Thank you. That's a lot. But actually,
I've never seen that though.
I've seen that, yeah.
Wow.
I actually like some of the food. I like Wena, Masa. I like Awara especially.
Okay.
But couscous and stuff.
What about the language barrier? You know how to speak Ebira.
Yes.
And you know how to speak Yoruba.
Yes.
So now you're here speaking Hausa.
I'm not speaking Hausa.
People are speaking Hausa too. How was it for you?
It was very difficult at first because everybody speaks Hausa to you. And then when you're like, oh, I don't understand Hausa. They'll be like, but you're in Kano, you're supposed to understand Hausa. Even if I just came yesterday, I'm supposed to understand Hausa.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for me actually. And then in school also, sometimes when a lecturer is explaining something and, the students are not really getting it. So they try to expatiate and they use Hausa. And then I'm like, oh my God.
They're leaving you behind.
They're leaving me behind because I'm actually not getting it too. And then everybody else is getting it. So it's actually hard. And then sometimes people are actually very considerate. Some lecturers, they still ask, I hope everybody understands Hausa before they go ahead and start speaking their Hausa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you rate your Hausa speaking skills?
That's 1.5 over 10.
Basirah, how long have you been in Kano?
I've actually been in Kano for 5 years.
Okay.
Yes, 5 years.
All right.
And I think because I mostly stay with these students, we're speaking English most of the time. So even my friends speak English together. So there's not really an avenue for me to learn the Hausa.
Okay.
I remember when we just came to Ghana, I actually stayed in Naibawa for a few months, I think 1 to 2 months. So I think during that time, my Hausa was actually very
better.
Yeah, because everybody will speak Hausa to you. And then when you tell them you don't understand, they say, no, you have to understand. So they force you to learn the language.
Which
so
is
it
good.
was better.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there any particular language you want to learn, like a dream language that you want to speak fluently?
Yes. Does it have to be one?
Okay, tell us.
Okay, I actually want to learn Arabic.
Okay.
Like, if I could learn it in a few months, but I know that's like impossible. But then Arabic, French, and Spanish, those are like my dream languages. And that's because I'd love to visit the places, and there's a way the language just fascinates me. Like when they're speaking it, it's
nice.
It's just nice.
You didn't mention Hausa. We're taking offense.
Of course, I have to learn Hausa. I'm hoping that I'll learn before I leave.
Okay, inshallah. So before coming, was there any stereotype or rumor associated with Kano or North in general?
No. Okay, one big thing that's like common at home in the West is that when you tell them you are coming to Kano, like when they ask me, where are you schooling? I'm like, Kano. They'll be like, why did you go that far and stuff? Like, how is the place? I hope you guys are safe. They just believe like this place is like a war zone.
Ooh.
Yes. There's this stereotype about the North that is like, it's not peaceful and everything. But actually, when I came here, so far, alhamdulillah, like, I've not had any issue with security and stuff, even though there are sometimes like tendencies for violence and stuff, but at least we've been safe, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other stereotype or?
Okay, another funny thing is that in Ogun State, or in the West, let me just say, when people call you Aboki or Malam, they find it very offensive.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know. Actually, my dad understands a little bit of Hausa because he like also grew up in Medjugorje.
Okay.
Yeah. So one day I had to ask him because why? Like, what's the meaning of this word? He just said, don't mind them. Like, it's just Aboki is my friend and Malam is just normal. So coming here, people use it like all the time. So I just feel like that's something that should change.
Yeah, here, like he said, the meaning is friend and Malam is like a teacher or something.
Yeah.
But over there, I think it's a slur or some kind of offensive word. When they call another Aboki, I think they usually mean someone that's not educated.
Yes,
something like
that.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the thing. If I call you Aboki here, it's nothing. But there, if someone calls me Aboki, I might take offense.
Exactly.
You get. So what are some of the things you struggled with once you moved here?
I think mostly that would be the language barrier, like I've said before. For example, like when I'm trying to go somewhere and I stop a keke to enter. So like the process of trying to make them understand where I'm going and then how much, like bargaining. So most times I usually have to pay extra because I feel like, okay, it's normal. And normally, things are more expensive there. So coming here, I'll be like, okay, it's not that bad. But then when they now pick someone else going,
it's cheaper.
It can even be like half of what I have to pay.
Wow.
So I'm like, that's not fair.
But now I'm sure you know every currency, you know the Hausa word for it. So of course, that's one of the
things. You want to test
that? All right. Then, do you have a favorite dish from here?
Yeah, I do. So far, that would be waina with that special soup that they do with it. I think.
Okay, waina masa.
Waina, that one with rice. That like round and stuff. Yeah.
It's actually Bauchi, from Bauchi.
Okay. Bauchi is in like Hausa also.
Yeah, Bauchi is Hausa. Okay. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, that would be my favorite dish so far.
Okay. Yes. Where did you try it?
The first time I tried it was during Salah. One of our neighbors actually, she's very nice. She made it. It's like she made it for Salah, so she like shared it, and it was very nice. The soup also that she added to it was very nice.
So you've experienced Salah here and you've experienced it at home. What are the differences you noticed?
Salah at home is always better because
family,
and then here I really don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So you have to like just stay on your own. But at home, Salah, you visit family, you visit friends. And then I feel like at home, there is more of sharing. Maybe it's where I stay, like in Kano, But at home, I feel like there's more of sharing during Salah
like-
period. Like people will cook, I invite people.
and share the food, yeah.
Yeah, and some people like even just open their house and everybody can come
Free
in.
to
and,
come, yeah.
Exactly. But I feel like here it's kind of not that way. It's kind of limited.
Okay.
Yes.
Makes sense. Is there a particular cultural experience you want to have here in Kano? Maybe have you visited the Durbar or Salah Durbar that they do? Have you?
That one.
You haven't?
I haven't, but I would like to. The only thing that scares me is that there's a lot of people and
you're afraid of crowd.
I don't like crowd. So
there's even I realized there's a Durbar that they do in Ogun State. A Salah Durbar. Something like that. It's a festival as well. During Salah, different families, everyone would be doing like Ashobi or something.
No, that's not Ojide Oba.
Ojide Oba.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
sure.
No, that's not actually related to Salah. It's a cultural thing.
Okay.
It's mostly with the Ijebu people.
Okay.
So it's like it's one of their ceremonies for the royal families.
Okay.
So it's just like they extend it to other people, like people can come and celebrate with them, but it's mostly for the royal families. It's actually not with Salah.
Oh, okay. Yes. It was very colorful when I saw it.
Yeah, it's actually colorful.
Is there any other interesting thing you want to share with us about your culture?
My culture? I've not lived in Kogi State. I've not even been there. I don't know the place. So I don't really know much. But I think one thing I would say I want to like experience when I go to Kogi State is the masquerade thing they do. Like, they actually like bring a masquerade and people come and watch them. Like they dance and everything. So that's one thing I would like to experience. When I go to Kogi State.
All right. Yeah. Well, Basirah, thank you so much for coming. We had an entertaining session. Thank you.
Thank you for having me again.
All right. I'll meet you guys in the next session. Welcome back. For our second session, I have with me Zainab Alamin from Basirah University, Kano. She's a law student. Zainab, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you very much. Good day, everyone. My name is Zainab Alamin Magaji. I'm 400 level student of Faculty of Law, Basirah University, Kano.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Basirah, we asked Basirah some of the cultural experiences she had since moving up north. Can you tell us what your background is? Where are you from?
Okay, I was born and brought up here in Kano.
Okay.
Right from my nursery school till university, I did it here all in Kano. So I lived all my life here in Kano. Okay. Actually, I'm a Kano girl.
Of course. So have you lived with people from other cultures, maybe in hostel or even off campus?
Yes, I did. I stayed for 3 years in the university so far, 3 or 4 roughly, and I stayed in the hostel campus. So I lived with people from different tribes, different background. My first year at university. I lived with an Ebra, Yoruba, Niger, Nupe and Bari from Niger State.
Ooh.
And I lived with, we were 8 in the room. I lived with almost 8 different cultures.
Wow.
I think only 3 of us were houses from the north, from Kano.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot seriously, and it's a very big experience for me. It's a great one because I've learned that at least living with other culture, for me, my perspective though, for me, living with other people is more easier than living with my own.
Oh, really?
With my own people, because I stayed, as I said, for 3 years or 4 years in the university on campus, and the experience there when I stayed with people from my own culture, it was hectic. It was hell with them. But I've been the person that is on top of my bunk. We call it bunkie normally. If you're still in campus, you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
She was Ibra. I stayed with her for 3 years, and our relationship then was amazing because how we understood each other and whatnot. But the Hausa people I lived with, I won't even lie, it was hell, the experience. Actually, it was hell. So I prefer now living with people not from my own culture to live with. I prefer living with people from different culture. Especially, I live with Yoruba, Ibra, those 2 tribes. I lived with them for just 3 years, and the experience was amazing. Actually, it was nice.
So I can sense that you've had trouble with roommates. Is there a specific situation you can give us?
I can't actually say it, but it was hectic. Yes. No, but I don't know why, because and I'm not the only person. Like I have this random discussion with some of my friends. They always complain about living together with this set of like we houses. Like if you find a room that is shooked with all Hausa people, like people from Kano let me be precise, people from Kano, all of them are Hausas in the room. They used to have all this problem. I don't know why. I'm from Kano. I'm not being biased, but I don't know why they used to have this a lot of problem. Actually, I thought I was the only person, but when I had this conversation with some of my friends, they were still complaining the same thing. It was a general thing. Yes, but so living with the other culture, it's amazing. Actually, I enjoyed it, especially Ibra and Yoruba. If they're saying this, they'll definitely know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so have you tried their food? Do you have a favorite food from another culture?
Yes. There's this soup that my mom used to make. Is it edikayanko? I don't know if I can pronounce it well. Edikayanko. Like that's my favorite soup from. I think it's for Yoruba people or Igbo. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's for Igbos, but that's my favorite so far because of the protein in there. Oh my God. A lot of fish, meat and whatnot. So that's my favorite so far.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you mentioned you were a law student.
Yes.
What got you interested in law?
Actually, I don't know, but I'm the type of person that usually like to express myself, or I have this interest in public speaking at first. Okay. Right from secondary school, I like to just see myself presenting on productive or meaningful topics, maybe within my colleagues and my cycle or something of that nature. So one day I was with one of my teachers during my secondary school days. He was like, you know what, Zainab, you make a very good lawyer. I was like, are you serious? He said, yes. I said, okay. Right from that time, I started developing the interest of studying law. And when I later graduated from university, from secondary school, my dad supported me, and that's how the journey started.
Mashallah, that's nice. All right. So Zainab, have you ever been in a situation where someone underestimated you based on your gender?
Yes, actually. When I started the journey, like when I got admission and started hooting, so I had this discussion with a couple of friends, families, and so I was surprised when a lot of them used to tell me that I cannot be a lawyer, and later on I'm married and have kids. I cannot practice. Yeah. So when they told me that, I was even thinking of, okay, maybe I'll just change course because this is not for me. You know, that kind of feelings. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, so far I'm married, though I don't have any kids. But alhamdulillah, the journey is going smoothly, and I don't think this being married or having kids
is a hindrance.
Yes, it's a hindrance that will stop you from practicing or from even studying in general. That's all nice. You need is just a supportive partner and a supportive parent, of course. And if you're willing, you have the passion, then you're good to go.
Very true. Yes. Very true. So what's the funniest or most ridiculous thing someone said to you regarding gender roles?
Okay, actually it's not on me. I went to a village like some couple of months back. So I was in the village. I was sitting down. I had people screaming outside. I was like, okay, what's happening? When I went out, it was a lady that her husband got her a car. They're not from the village actually. So when she just drove in and she passed a lot of people. So they were all screaming and they were all surprised because why would a lady be driving a car? Like, I was even surprised the way they were just insulting the husband. Like, why would he even give a lady a car to drive and whatnot? Wow. I was seriously surprised. I was like,
which village was this? Here in?
No, it's not here in Kano. It's around somewhere outside. But I was surprised, seriously. Yeah. I was surprised.
So would you say law is a male-dominated profession?
No, actually, since I'm a northern, I'm from the north, from Kano precise. So, as of now, the ratio of male and female in our faculty is almost like 50-50. It's balanced.
Yeah.
But I don't know, after school, a lot of females don't like to practice. I don't know whether they don't like to practice. Since I'm not out of the school yet, I cannot say. But the ratio of people practicing, especially females, after school drops seriously. Because at times we are over almost like 200 in a class, but only few females will practice after, especially those from the north. I don't know from other side of the country, but only few practice in especially females here in the north.
And then would you like who usually tops the classes? Is it the males or the females?
Okay, the issue of being who is the best in the class is not scientifically proven, whether male or female. But in our faculty, I don't know of now, but usually the females are the best students. Maybe because our ability to multitask at times.
Okay.
And this the male that we are together with them, a lot of them do take care of themselves, like the financial aspect.
Yeah,
a lot of them, they sponsor themselves. A lot of them go to the market or go to their shops just to provide for themselves. So they're a bit distracted, not like most of the females that at least our parents do take care of us, provide with everything. So, we'll not be distracted just like, but it's not scientifically proven that male are excelling more than women, more than females, and it's not scientifically proven.
All right. So Zainab, I'm going into a very sensitive topic right now.
Okay.
What's your perspective on feminism?
Wow, this is huge.
Very.
This is a very sensitive topic. So my perspective on feminism, whenever you made mention of feminism, what first comes to my mind is the issue of gender equality, empowering women in general. But I personally categorize feminism into two aspects, like the positive side of feminism and the negative side. Generally, there's no any positive or negative, but I give it that meaning because that's my perspective. You asked of my perspective, of course.
Okay.
So when you said the positive sides of feminism, as I said, when somebody advocates for gender equality, you might advocate for maybe having equal right in terms of job opportunity, maybe in terms of education and whatnot. So you see there's a positive side of it. If one will advocate for, when one is admitted in a particular university, a woman should not be denied the same admission.
Yeah.
This kind of things.
Yeah.
If one would be, for instance, if one would be employed in particular ministry, a woman should not be denied if she have the same qualification as a man. So there's the positive side. So if you advocate for this, at least let's have this privilege also, or let's have this opportunity also. So there's a positive side. But the negative side of feminism, my perspective though, is when you advocate for having this equal rights with a man. When you advocate, for instance, there are some people that do advocate for, a woman should not get married and whatnot. All these kind of things, they conflict with our culture and our religion here, especially here in the north. So, and it plays a significant role in at least destabilizing, or it changes the mindset of a lot of young girls here, and it do affect them seriously. Because if you advocate for a girl not getting married, or you advocate that she's a superior also in her house, or her husband is not her superior, all these kind of things, it will do affect her, and it's conflict with our culture and religion. Let's even forget culture; it conflict with our religion.
Right.
So I think that's a negative side. That's my perspective too. But if you advocate for the positive side, at least a girl should go to school. We should be seen as human. We should be respected, regardless of gender. All these kind of things. At least are accepted here, especially. But the negative side is it's not accepted, and it plays a vital role in destroying young girls' mindset. So that's my perspective.
My thing with feminism is because, like you said, there's a positive aspect and a negative aspect. So I usually try to avoid labeling people, or people labeling themselves, especially Muslims, calling themselves, I'm a Muslim feminist.
Yes.
Because if you're advocating for maybe the right to education, right to inheritance, right to marry whom you choose, these are all God-given rights. Islam has given us these rights. So if you're advocating for those, it doesn't make you a feminist.
Don't call yourself a feminist.
Don't call yourself a feminist. It doesn't make you a feminist. That's my own point of view on the thing. Because when feminism started, it was because they didn't even have these rights.
In the Western part of the world.
They couldn't inherit, they couldn't work, they couldn't earn. So they came out and they said, and they started fighting. But the problem is they made man the standard. Everything a man does, a woman now wants to do. Everything a man is, a woman wants to be. And we're not equal. We were not created equally. And like I said, it's not about gender equality, but about equity.
Yes.
Our religion is all about equity. there's a book that explains this very well, Reclaim Your Heart by Yasmin Mogahed. She explains how feminism started and how man was made the standard, and we were just supposed to go back to our God-given rights, and everything would be fine, because
Islam has done everything
for us a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's an example, this is also from another book that I read. He was saying it will feel unfair. People might think it's unfair that a daughter inherits half the portion of a male child. But then, the way he explained it in the book, he was like, a man is a provider. His money is for his family, his dependents. It's not for him alone. But a woman, her money is hers. She can spend it however she wishes to. Even if she spends it on her family, she can ask to be repaid. It's a sadaqah if she leaves it. But a man, that is his duty and his responsibility. So that's where the equity comes.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's my own view on feminism.
Yes, thank you so much. And one thing I want to add is, as you said earlier, a lot of people call themselves feminists and they don't know what
it entails completely.
Feminism. Because you cannot be advocating Islamically, claiming, telling people that they have this particular right, and you'll be associating yourself with those Western feminists.
Beliefs, true.
It's not possible, because you cannot tell people, you cannot tell someone that you cannot call yourself a feminist and tell somebody to get married, to have so things. You cannot do that, because those people that call themselves feminists, they did not associate themselves with others. You get it? So that is it.
There's an extreme part of it which hates men and all that thing. So we try to avoid those. That's the thing. That brings us to the end of both sessions. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any contribution or feedback, please leave them down in the comments. And as always, we'll see you in the next episode, inshallah. Thank you.